Hey, welcome all my friends, and I appreciate you joining me on this Friday afternoon. I am going to take just a few minutes today to talk to you about the upcoming Pacific Northwest Aerospace Alliance Advance 2021 virtual conference. I'm going to have a guest with me here today. We're going to talk about the preparations that are going on for this event. It's really very exciting. There's a lot of big companies that are registered and are signed up to come on to the event. There's going to be buyers there. There's going to be a technical track. There's going to be a great opportunity for us to be able to know about what's happening at this event. But wait, you're going to want to stay until the very end, because in this broadcast today, I'm going to tell you about an opportunity that if you're a business and if you want to be showcased on this live broadcast, you will have an opportunity to potentially do that. Stay till the end. I'm going to tell you about it. Stick with me. Hey, welcome, Brian.
Hello, Mark. Thanks for having me again. I appreciate it.
Yeah, I really appreciate you being on here today. Brian, are you doing anything today? Or are you just kind of hanging around, or what are you doing today?
We're a little busy. You know, it's the last business day before we open our conference. We're very excited, and we're getting all the final preparations done here in the studio to go live on Monday.
Fantastic. Now, really quickly, it's scrolling across the screen, but tell people when it is.
Yeah, so it's next week, February 8th through 11. It starts at 9 a.m. Pacific time on Monday.
Okay. Hey, listen, I want to talk a little bit about the companies that are coming. You have got a fantastic lineup of companies that are coming. How many businesses do you have registered right now for the event?
I've actually not calculated that, but hundreds of different businesses. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Awesome. Fantastic. Hey, can you tell me about just some of, I know there's all kinds of them, and, but can you tell me about some of them that you're most excited about, and, what that you want to, have conversations with or want people to know about?
Oh boy. We're going to have a lot of our normal staples, Richard Epilofia, Dr. Kevin Michaels, Ron Epstein. We'll have JJ Gertler. We'll have Ron Stearns, Pierre Chow. A lot of the top industry analysts will be there. But we're also going to have a lot of amazing speakers from the tier ones and some of the big technology companies. We'll have Alaska Airlines and companies like Far UV talking about the safety of air travel. Boeing and Airbus and de Havilland will be sharing about some of the technology in the airplanes, talking about how safe these aircraft really are to fly on, even during these times. So a lot of exciting stuff.
Yeah, I know there's a lot that, we could go on for, an hour talking about the companies that are on there. But hey, I have particular interest in advanced technology like electric aircraft, for example. And I saw you had Eric Lindbergh that's going to be part of the conference next week.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yep. It's the grandson of Charles and Ann Lindbergh, who are coming up on their historic anniversary of their flight before all too long. But we'll also have folks like Roy Gonzarski, one of the leaders right now in electric aviation with Magni X. And then companies like Airbus will also be talking about some of the hydrogen-powered plans that they have, and Boeing with the biofuels. A lot of exciting stuff about the future of transportation in aerospace.
Yeah. So listen, if you are looking for an opportunity to network with people that are connected with OEMs and with suppliers and vendors and really advanced technology, this is going to be the event for you. You're definitely going to want to be there. Now, Brian, isn't there also a technical track where people can learn there as well?
Yeah, there sure is. One of the things that we started doing heavily last year was creating a parallel track that runs simultaneously with the main stage presenters, but it's really targeted more toward the production staff and the quality managers, the engineers, HR, and it's the fine detail type of topics that are designed to improve the production system, help companies become more efficient, and ultimately improve their costs.
All right, perfect. So we can go, we can network, we can meet with OEMs, vendors, suppliers, we can go on a technical track. Now, I understand that this event also has buyers that are there, people that are really looking for people to do business with, right?
That's right. We've got 17 companies this year, 5 of them being OEMs. And it's some of the big names that you've probably seen in the past, like Boeing, Airbus, those types of companies, but also some of these new companies that are starting up in the electric aviation space and in the space and satellite industries. And these companies are looking for new suppliers, and their business is growing in some cases. And so we're excited about this. It's been a very big part of our conference for the last 10 years or so, where companies can come and literally build a relationship. And it's a very shortened process because you're meeting directly with those buyers, and it could lead to potentially new business.
Yeah, you know what? We've all talked about the need to be able to evaluate the industry around us and look for new opportunities and be able to pivot. Now, if you are looking for new opportunities to be able to do business in 2021, hey, what better place than to be able to network with people, to learn more, and to be able to put yourself right in front of buyers. Brian, you guys have really set up a great approach or a great program to doing that. It really looks exciting.
Thanks. Yeah, and the conference will also have very specific topics that address what you just spoke of, and that is, how do you diversify? What are some of the other growth segments within aerospace? Be it defense, space, satellite, some of these new upcoming segments. And we're going to have speakers from all of the top companies in those related segments, and they're going to be talking about, hey, this is what we look for in our suppliers. And that information, we hope, will be very helpful to the audience that are looking to break into new business areas.
Yeah, the Pacific Northwest is just a hotbed of aviation aerospace manufacturers. And listen, if you're anywhere in the world or if you're anywhere in the USA and you're trying to do business in the Pacific Northwest with the aviation and aerospace companies, this is definitely, the place to be. Hey, Brian, I was pretty excited to see some different events that were happening, this week out there in the industry. And there's just so many space companies that are focusing on the Pacific Northwest. And a lot of speculation about where things are going. But are you seeing growth in that space sector up here in the Pacific Northwest?
Oh, absolutely. We've got companies like Blue Origin, as I mentioned, Leo Stella, Aerojet Rocketdyne. These companies have all been growing, and that is going to be a continued growth area, especially in the satellite small sat category. That seems to be one of the biggest growth segments that we see here in the Pacific Northwest right now. Maybe like decades long ago, I believe we're in this kind of rebirth of the space age, if you will. And all these companies are definitely growing, and space is going to be one of the new big segments, I believe, in the years to come.
Yeah, I really can't think of any better place really to do business right now than the Pacific Northwest when you're looking at space companies. So I think you're presenting people with a tremendous opportunity to really be able to do that. Now, Brian, there's a lot of virtual conferences that are popping up and things like that. And there's really a very big difference between how they're run and how well they're coordinated and everything out there. Yeah. And it's not to say anything negative about anybody, but one of the things that I'm really impressed with is that what you guys have really done to be able to create a positive environment. Now, how is this virtual event going to be different, do you think, than others that people have attended out there in the industry?
Sure, great question. And I've been to some of these virtual events, and the information, the content is typically very good, but the experience is very maybe two-dimensional in a sense. It's text-based, and maybe there's some embedded video. What people have talked about at the PNA conference for the last 20 years is their amazing experience with people. They love to connect with people. We dedicate a couple hours each day just for networking. We believe those business connections are vital to the growth of aerospace companies. When we went out to create our virtual conference this year, we took a very different approach, and we said, how can we bring the human element, the humanity into this event and this environment? It's not like anything you've ever seen. It looks and feels like you're in this immersive, basically a big airport, and there's people all around you. There's avatars, there's ambient sound, and most importantly, there are all these different rooms that you can go into to connect with people. We have 6 different networking lounges. We've got other lounges where you can connect with people also. And then you go into these rooms and you click the launch the video button, and it's a tile of video, and you're in there with different people, basically like in a Zoom call. And so there's these different environments where you can connect with people, and you can live chat and, invite somebody to go have an offline meeting. So we're hoping that this engaging experience is something people really, really gravitate toward.
Hey, you're not excited about this, are you? Hey, Brian, you're not excited about this, are you?
Say that one more time. Sorry, Mark. I had a technical.
I said, you're not excited about this, are you?
Yeah. It's fun. It's, PNA has been known for putting on the premier aerospace conference in the Pacific Northwest. And with our 20th anniversary, we wanted to continue to uphold that standard and create something special this year, being that it is our 20th anniversary.
Yeah, that's great. Well, good. Hey, listen, I want to move to another subject. I actually had somebody call me this week and they said, hey, I haven't received any information about the event yet, about the registration. How do I get in? What do I do?
Sure.
And I said, well, did you follow all the way through the process to the paid event? And he said, no, I didn't. And I just want to make it really clear to people is that there is the cost associated with this event, right? And how much is it for a non-member of PNAA to actually join the event?
Sure, it's $625 for non-members, and it's $495 for PNAA members.
Okay, very good. All right. Now, I wanted to point something out because I wanted to make this a point that people needed to understand. There's a lot of free, events and conferences and Zoom events and things that are happening out there. And this is really very different. And I want to tell you what my personal opinion is, Brian. Listen, the last full year that I flew 480,000 miles. I flew all around the world, and that included going to about a dozen different conferences, okay, flying from place to place to place.
Yep.
And let's just say that if I went to a conference, in Bangkok, I went to one of the last conferences I went to was in Bangkok. I paid for a ticket to get there. All right. So that was several $1,000s. I flew in business class. People don't always fly in business class, but I did. All right. I had the cost of hotels. I had the cost of transportation. I had the cost of meals. I also had the cost of the event, which was, I think it was around $1,200 or $1,300 or something like that. And so by the time I went to one conference, I may have paid $10,000, $12,000 just to go to a conference. Plus I had 2 or 3 days of travel on either side. Okay. This is a tremendous opportunity because for just $625, and if you remember, it's actually less, you can have an experience to be able to network and get all those things that we just talked about, for just that small fee. Now, Brian, what do you think about the value of this $625 event?
I think it's amazing, and for a handful of different reasons. Mark, as you just pointed out, you aren't going to have all those other expenses that are related to typically going to the conference, the airfare, the room and board, meals and incidentals and so on. And so it's a very abbreviated cost of what it would normally be in a typical year to come out to the PNAA conference. I think secondly, when people come to this conference, we hear stories just week after week, month after month about a new business connection that they made at the conference. And, either within a few days or weeks, or sometimes it takes maybe perhaps several months, they build a new relationship and they start gaining business. And typically in that first purchase order of whatever that is, they've more than paid for their entire trip. And this year, of course, a fraction of that. And then I think finally, this year, we're in a very different business climate. And I think one of the things that is setting the companies apart that are very successful right now are those that are going out there and, they're making it happen. They're going out there, they're connecting, they're looking for new business. And they've really brought back that hunter type of mentality that maybe hasn't been so, defined in recent years in the aerospace industry. So this is an opportunity for you to connect with other people in the industry, glean some very important industry information that can help you in your next year ahead of planning. But then, of course, potentially the ultimate goal, of course, is building some new business out there.
Yeah, I couldn't agree with you more. I've interviewed about 300 people on this program in the last 10 months. And there's definitely a difference between those that are being successful right now and those that are just maintaining. Okay. Listen, we all have to conserve cash and we all have to look at what our costs are. But those that are moving forward in business are those that are charging forward and looking for new opportunities. All right. And you just said it right there. It's not the cost of this conference, it's the value of what you get. And I can just tell you this is that in the summertime, I ran my own event, and I've never run an event before. I'm not an event coordinator like you. I just ran an event because I was trying to get people connected and make things happen. I walked away with no less than 9 different opportunities from that. I closed some contracts, and the smallest one that I closed was, was 6 figures. Okay. And so, $695, is $625 is just scatter, compared to that kind of an opportunity. So I really applaud you for what you've done and provided such, tremendous value. You guys are doing a great job in figuring out how to help people to be successful, in these difficult times. You guys are doing great, Brian.
Thanks. And I think, another thing to note, Mark, is, the industry is in a, it's in a lower state right now. But if you're building business relationships and you're gaining some new business, as this comes back here in the future, that business will continue to grow also. So what may start as a small kernel now may turn into something quite large.
I really believe you guys hit this at the right time because back November, December, things looked like they might have started to be picking up, but I wasn't completely sure. But in the last 2 months, I literally have 5 or 6 RFPs that I'm working on right now. And I have seen a tremendous increase in activity between December and January. And I'm getting that from a lot of companies right now. And so you need to be moving right now. Listen, if you're watching right now this video, you need to be moving because now is the time to move to be able to create success in 2021. This is going to launch you. This is an opportunity to grab some ground here and to move forward. You guys are doing a great job, Brian.
Thank you. I really appreciate it, Mark.
Good. Hey, listen, I got one more thing I want to tell you. I promised you at the beginning of this that I was going to make an offer to you that would be really valuable, very valuable. I just want to tell you is that I have done, like I said just a few minutes ago, about 300 broadcasts like this. And what I try to do is I try to feature companies in the aviation aerospace industry and to be able to try to help get their message out. I've always said that if nobody knows who you are, how can you sell? All right. How can people buy from you if they don't know who you are? And so one of the things I've been doing is I've been trying to help companies to get their message out. And so what I'm going to do is that if you make a commitment, right now, if you make a commitment to purchase a registration for just $625, you will not only get access to the conference, but I'm going to give you, if you're a business, I'm going to give you an opportunity to be featured on this program. And for some people, they pay as much as $5,000 to be able to be featured on a program like this. So I'm going to actually give that to you free of charge if you buy a registration. If you go here to PNAA.digitalaircraft.org, and if you sign up and if you pay for the registration, I'm going to give you yet another opportunity to be able to potentially be on this program. What I'm telling you is send me a message in LinkedIn and put the word PNAA in the subject. I will get back with you and we will feature your business on this program. So, hey, listen, there's a tremendous amount of value, not only in going to this event and the kind of contracts and things that you can return, but I will also give you an opportunity to get your message out and to be able to grow your business in 2021 by putting you on this program. Brian, I'm so excited. I'm looking forward to being at the event next week. I've got literally tens, if not 100 messages from people saying that they're looking forward to the event and they're excited about it. And there's going to be hundreds of people that are going to be there. You guys are doing a great job. So listen, I'm going to let you go because you got way too much to do, to get yourself ready.
Sure.
It's good.
Thank you, Mark. Really appreciate it. Thanks so much.
All right. So listen, thanks for being on the program today, and go right now to that URL, which is right there on the bottom of the screen, PNAA.digitalaircraft.org, and sign up and help to make your business successful in 2021. Fair winds and following seas to you. Have a great day, and we're looking forward to seeing you online next week. Bye.
Thanks.
As we prepare for takeoff, just sit back, relax, and enjoy the flight. You are cleared for takeoff. We are go for launch. Ignition.
With 2020 behind us, our aerospace industry has begun to rebound. The 737 returned to service. We have improved air travel safety awareness, increased passenger travel. Airplane orders are on the rise. We have a COVID vaccine. Business will slowly return to normal. So welcome to the first conference of the new era.
Industry, we're going to get through this, and there will be another side, and when we get there, it'll be just as strong as it was in the past.